If you've been feeling more emotional, restless, or mentally overwhelmed lately, you're not imagining it. The full moon on February 12th, 2025, isn't just another lunar event. It's a powerful, energetic shift that could impact your emotions, thoughts, and even your reality. This full moon is amplifying everything, both the good and the bad. But here's the real danger. Your thoughts and actions during this time will have a much greater impact than usual. If you're not mindful, you could unknowingly attract negativity, get trapped in emotional cycles, or make decisions you'll later regret. During this full moon, emotions won't just be heightened, they'll feel raw and unfiltered. If you've been doing any kind of self-reflection or inner healing, expect those buried feelings to rise to the surface in a way that might feel overwhelming. Thoughts and memories you believed you had processed could suddenly feel as fresh as the day they happened. This is because the full moon acts like a magnifying glass, intensifying whatever emotions are already present. It's a powerful time for self-awareness, but if you're not careful, it can also pull you into emotional turbulence. One of the biggest challenges during this time will be navigating social interactions. When emotions are this amplified, even small conversations can feel exhausting. You might find yourself easily irritated, overly sensitive to other people's words, or even picking up on energies that don't belong to you. Large crowds, loud environments, and chaotic situations could drain you faster than usual. If you've been feeling emotionally fragile, it's best to limit your exposure to negativity, whether that's toxic conversations, stressful work situations, or social media drama. Protecting your peace is more important than ever. This is also a time when your intuition may feel extra sharp, but be careful. Heightened emotions can sometimes distort reality. What feels like a strong gut instinct might just be anxiety talking. Before reacting impulsively to something that upsets you, take a moment to ground yourself. Deep breathing, meditation, or simply stepping away from emotionally charged situations can help you regain clarity. Remember, not every feeling needs to be acted upon immediately. Some just need to be acknowledged and released. Your energy field is like a sponge during this full moon, absorbing everything around you. That's why it's crucial to be mindful of the environments you put yourself in. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, spend time in nature, or engage in calming activities that help restore balance. If emotions become too intense, remind yourself that this is temporary. The moon will wane, and so will the emotional intensity. But until then, your best defense is self-awareness and setting firm emotional boundaries. Procrastination during this full moon isn't just about pushing tasks to another day. It's about getting stuck in a cycle that could last much longer than expected. The energy surrounding this moon is sticky, meaning that anything left unfinished may remain unresolved for an extended period. It's easy to justify delaying things when emotions are heightened, but this particular full moon has a way of freezing progress. If you put something off now, it might not just be a short delay. It could turn into weeks or even months of stagnation. When emotions run high, motivation tends to drop. You may feel an overwhelming urge to wait until you feel better before tackling important tasks, but this is a trap. The full moon amplifies internal struggles, making even simple tasks seem daunting. The longer you wait, the more resistance builds up, turning small responsibilities into mountains. The best way to counteract this energy is to take action in the moment, no matter how small. Even a single step forward can break the cycle of procrastination and prevent tasks from piling up. This is especially important because the actions you take under this moon will set the tone for the weeks ahead. If you push through the urge to delay, you'll harness the moon's energy for momentum rather than stagnation. On the other hand, if you let procrastination take over, you might find yourself trapped in a loop of unfinished work, missed opportunities, and unnecessary stress. This is a rare moment where one decision, to act or delay, can have long-term consequences. So, if you feel tempted to procrastinate, remind yourself of the bigger picture. Push through the resistance and complete the tasks you've been avoiding. Whether it's a difficult conversation, a creative project, or a personal goal, taking action now will ensure you don't get caught in the energetic slowdown that this full moon can bring. The choice is yours. Stay stuck or move forward. Under this full moon, emotions from the past may resurface as if they just happened yesterday. Painful memories, unresolved conflicts, and lingering regrets could suddenly feel fresh again, pulling you into a loop of overanalysis. This is where many people mistake revisiting old wounds for healing them. But true healing doesn't come from replaying painful moments repeatedly. It comes from understanding them, releasing their hold on you, and moving forward. If you find yourself constantly rethinking the same situations, ask yourself, am I gaining insight, or am I just reopening an old wound? The energy of this moon makes it tempting to seek closure in the wrong ways. You might feel an urge to reach out to someone from your past, over-explain your emotions, or dwell on what-ifs. But healing doesn't always require an external resolution. It's an internal process. Sometimes, the best thing you can do is accept what has happened, learn the lesson it taught you, and choose not to carry the emotional weight any longer. If a thought is bringing you more suffering than clarity, it's a sign that you need to let it go. Overthinking can create the illusion of control, making you feel like if you just analyze a situation enough, you'll finally find peace. But in reality, constantly revisiting the past only keeps you stuck in it. Healing is about acceptance, self-forgiveness, and allowing yourself to move forward without the need for every answer. Instead of getting lost in repetitive thoughts, shift your focus to what you can control, your present and your future. This full moon is a reminder that your past does not define you. It may have shaped you, but it doesn't have to trap you. When old emotions surface, acknowledge them, reflect on their lessons, and then consciously choose to release them. True healing happens when you stop reliving the pain and start creating a future that isn't weighed down by it. This full moon has a way of making old wounds feel fresh again, even if you thought you had moved past them. Memories, regrets, and past heartbreaks may resurface, bringing intense emotions along with them. While this might seem like an opportunity for healing, there's a fine line between processing your emotions and getting stuck in them. The mind can be tricky. It convinces us that replaying painful moments over and over is a form of understanding. But in reality, it often keeps us trapped in the same cycle of suffering. True healing is about acknowledging your pain, learning from it, and then letting it go. If you catch yourself constantly rehashing old wounds, ask yourself, am I learning something new from this, or am I just reliving the pain? Healing isn't about repeating the same thoughts, it's about finding closure and moving forward. The full moon's energy might tempt you to dwell on the past, but this is your chance to break free from that pattern. Instead of sitting with painful thoughts, channel them into something productive. Write them down, express them through art, or talk to someone who can provide real perspective. One of the most dangerous traps of overthinking is that it feels like progress when it's actually a loop. The mind convinces you that if you just analyze the situation one more time, you'll find a new answer. But that moment never comes. Instead of revisiting old pain, shift your focus toward true healing practices. Meditate, spend time in nature, or do something that brings you peace. Healing isn't about solving the past, it's about freeing yourself from its hold. The full moon is a powerful time for transformation, but only if you allow yourself to step forward instead of looking back. One of the biggest dangers of this full moon is emotional dumping, people unloading their stress, pain, and frustrations onto anyone willing to listen. When emotions run high, many will feel the need to vent, sometimes without realizing how much energy they're transferring onto others. If you're spiritually attuned, this can be especially dangerous because you might absorb their negativity without even noticing. The weight of other people's emotions can leave you feeling drained, anxious, and overwhelmed. That's why setting boundaries is non-negotiable during this time. Not every problem needs your energy. It's natural to want to be there for others, but there's a difference between supporting someone and carrying their burdens as your own. If you find yourself constantly being the person people turn to for emotional release, be mindful of how much of that energy you're taking in. Just because someone is venting doesn't mean you have to absorb their pain. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it's necessary. If a conversation starts feeling too heavy, politely excuse yourself or redirect the discussion to something lighter. This full moon is already amplifying emotions, so you must be extra careful about the energy you allow into your space. Spend time with people who uplift and energize you rather than those who drain you. Engage in activities that help you recharge, whether it's meditation, journaling, or simply spending time alone. If you don't protect your energy, you may find yourself carrying emotions that don't even belong to you. Remember, you are not responsible for fixing everyone, especially when doing so comes at the cost of your own well-being. During this full moon, emotions will run so high that they might feel like clarity. Thoughts that were once uncertain may suddenly seem obvious, pushing you toward bold, life-altering decisions. You might feel an overwhelming urge to quit your job, cut ties with a friend, break up with your partner, or completely change your direction in life. But before you act, ask yourself, am I making this decision from a place of wisdom, or am I being swept up by the emotional intensity of the moment? The energy of this moon is deceiving. It amplifies feelings, making them seem more urgent than they actually are. One of the biggest risks of this full moon is mistaking emotional waves for permanent truths. What feels unbearable today might not even bother you tomorrow. If you react impulsively, you could end up making a decision that you deeply regret once the energy settles. This is why it's crucial to pause and sit with your feelings before taking any major action. Write down what you're feeling, talk it through with someone you trust, or simply give yourself time to process. A decision made in the heat of heightened emotions is rarely a wise one. If something truly needs to change in your life, that feeling won't disappear once the full moon passes. It will remain, giving you time to approach it with a clear and level-headed mindset. Instead of making drastic moves, use this time for reflection. Observe your emotions without immediately acting on them. Channel your energy into something creative or grounding, like journaling, meditation, or a quiet walk in nature. When emotions calm down, you'll be able to see the situation for what it really is, not just how it feels in the moment. This full moon is powerful, but power without direction can lead to chaos. Instead of letting emotions dictate your choices, use this time to gain clarity without rushing into action. Your future self will thank you for your patience. During this full moon, emotions will be so heightened that your mind may start searching for meaning in everything. You might notice repeated numbers, hear a song that reminds you of someone, or have a vivid dream that feels like a premonition. While these moments can be intriguing, they're not always divine messages. Sometimes they're just coincidences amplified by your emotional state. The full moon's intense energy makes it easy to see patterns where none exist, leading to misinterpretations that could steer you in the wrong direction. The biggest mistake people make during heightened lunar energy is assuming that everything is a sign. When emotions are running wild, the brain naturally looks for validation, trying to connect the dots between random events. This can lead to false conclusions, like assuming that seeing 11:11 on the clock means you should reach out to an ex, or that a strange dream is a warning about your future. While synchronicities can be real, they should never replace logic and discernment. A sign is only meaningful if it aligns with your intuition when you're in a calm and centered state, not when you're overwhelmed by moon-induced emotions. Instead of jumping to conclusions, take a step back and ask yourself, does this truly feel like a message, or am I just searching for one? The best way to differentiate between a genuine sign and a coincidence is to wait. If the message keeps appearing over time, not just during the emotional peak of the full moon, it may hold true meaning. But if it fades as your emotions settle, it was likely just a product of heightened sensitivity. This full moon is powerful, but it's also chaotic. Don't let emotional turbulence cloud your judgment. Stay grounded, trust your intuition, and remember that not every flicker of light in the dark is a guiding star. Sometimes it's just a reflection of where your mind wants to go. This full moon is a powerful amplifier, and its energy speeds up manifestation like never before. Whatever thoughts dominate your mind, whether positive or negative, will take root and materialize faster than usual. If you focus on abundance, growth, and success, you'll find opportunities appearing seemingly out of nowhere. But if you dwell on fear, doubt, or worst-case scenarios, you may unintentionally invite those very things into your reality. The energy you put out will be mirrored back to you, so it's crucial to be mindful of your mindset. Many people underestimate the power of their thoughts, but during this full moon, your inner dialogue becomes a direct force of creation. If you keep telling yourself that something will go wrong, you might subconsciously act in ways that make it happen. On the other hand, if you genuinely believe in your ability to attract positive change, you'll start noticing synchronicities leading you in the right direction. This is why emotional discipline is essential. What you entertain in your mind today could manifest in your reality sooner than you expect. To harness this energy in your favor, take a moment to reset your focus. Instead of spiraling into negativity, consciously shift your attention to what you want rather than what you fear. Affirmations, visualization, and gratitude practices can help redirect your thoughts toward a higher frequency. If you catch yourself thinking negatively, don't panic. Simply reframe your thoughts and refocus on a more empowering narrative. The key is awareness. Once you realize the power you hold, you can start using it with intention. This full moon is not just a time of emotional intensity, it's a rare opportunity to manifest your desires at an accelerated rate. Your thoughts are seeds, and under this moon's energy, they will grow rapidly. So, choose wisely. Plant thoughts of love, success, and fulfillment, and watch them flourish in the days to come. This February 12th full moon is no ordinary lunar phase. It's an energetic shift that can either push you forward or pull you into emotional chaos. But now that you know what to avoid, you can navigate this powerful time with awareness. Protect your energy, stay grounded, and most importantly, be mindful of your thoughts and actions. Remember, what you focus on during this moon will manifest faster than usual, so choose wisely.